by report as to how much he was joking around with the staff. Despite the emotional roller coaster that is cancer treatment, Marty chose to use his skills as a journalist to film and share his experiences in real time during his journey, with the goal of bringing education to the public on HPV and head and neck cancer, as well as the importance of the preventative HPV vaccine. He has brought great awareness to this disease and the vaccine, and he has also brought courage to other cancer patients undergoing active treatment and a voice to head and neck cancer survivors. It has been a true honor to be a part of this care team, and it's my pleasure to introduce you to Marty today.
Thanks, my man. Good morning. I have to apologize to Dr. Zandberg because when you have this sort of cancer, one of the after effects is you have a difficulty in swallowing some sorts of food. So I always tell my wife, when I blow my nose, I can tell her what I had for lunch. True story. I just blew my nose, and Dr. Zandberg's sitting right in front of me, and I was having scrambled eggs, and there was a little piece of scrambled egg on your jacket, my man. I'm sorry, I got it off. That's why I was rubbing your back. It wasn't a massage. Although you're an attractive man, it wasn't a massage kind of thing, doctor. The travails of this are intense. On a positive note, when this was scheduled, I had already had one scan and it came clear. But I had another scan yesterday morning, so this would have been a different conversation if the scan came back positive. But I had a scan yesterday and I'm cancer-free, so that's 6 months of cancer-free. I have 3 kids. I have a 9-year-old son, a 12-year-old daughter, and a 14-year-old, and my wife. And that's why you want to live, right? I mean, what else matters? At the end of the day, everything you have, all the wealth and fame and fortune, and nothing matters when you get sick like this other than your family. I was shaving one day, this was last August, and I felt this lump right here. And I thought, man, that's an issue probably in that. One of my neighbors is an ear, nose, and throat surgeon. Phil Paulus is his name. Works in the UPMC system in Pittsburgh, and he came over and looked at it. He said, this is an issue. And the next day, actually, and the way they act at UPMC and how quickly they act is sick. It's just amazing. Had a biopsy, and within a couple of days I knew that I had HPV-related cancer. And I had, in my tonsil over here, cancer, and then I had a 1.5-inch tumor on my tongue, on the base of my tongue. Now, as we talk about the evolution of this disease, right, and the evolution of the treatment, I mean, let's be blunt about this, and Dr. Zandberg can tell you this. Water is one of my friends now. You have to have water when you have this, obviously. That 15 years ago, this cancer, I'm done as a broadcaster. I mean, the health issue's obviously paramount, but I spent 30-plus years in television and radio. I'm now the CEO of a startup that is broadcast media related, and we do digital media. 15 years ago, they would have removed a third of my tongue. 15 years ago, they would have removed at least a quarter of my jaw. And that's just 15 years. And I mean, it's amazing what's happened at UPMC and Hillman. And what they did for me was save my life and change my life for the better. Within a week and a half, I had robotic surgery. Dr. Ferris, Dr. Bob Ferris, removed the tonsils. And then I started aggressive chemotherapy and radiation. 7 weeks of hell. I mean, I learned so much about myself during that process. But what I learned is of the greatness and the humanity of the people that take care of you in these centers, like the Hillman Cancer Center. It's unbelievable to me that they care so much about you living. They take care of every single aspect of your life. Are you depressed? Are you losing weight? Do you have nutritional issues that you need? What's going on in your daily life that we can manage? And I think that's, for me, the technology aside and what they've done with the robotics and the immunotherapy the program that I'm in, it's fantastic. And it's why I'm here today, to make a difference. And hopefully help for that. But at the end of the day, it's about you, right? And take all the jargon away about medicine and big money and self-interest. And the truth of the matter is, when you're in a hospital and you're sick, they love you. I mean, they love you. It's crazy what you imagine. And they cry with you, and they cry for you, and they see people die. And they get through it. And we all know what it's like to have someone in our lives die. To imagine that they see patients for a year and a half, and they die. And they come into work the next day and they save a life is amazing to me. And there's a beauty in it and a magnificence in it that I never knew until I went to Hillman every single day and felt the compassion of amazing doctors and nurses like Dr. Zamberg. He's now a close friend. My journey started with the detection of this cancer, right? And I just acquired several $1 million in venture capital funding about 2 weeks before. Now this is significant because these big VC companies gave me money, and now I'm the CEO of that company, and I have cancer. So what the hell do you do with that? No, really. There's a broadcast empire entity. It's called Sparkt. And our whole impetus is to create change and make a difference. So I called the partners and I said, I have HPV-related cancer. And it's in my throat, and it's where I speak from. And we've decided that we're going to make a difference with this, and we're going to create change with this. And so I started every day broadcasting live. The mission, the journey, the chemo, getting sick, the pain, the agony, the joy. And we received unbelievable response. More than 13 million people watched the videos. And forget the number. The impact that it had on people reaching out and saying, I had no idea about this HPV stuff. What the hell? I had no idea there was a vaccine. I had no idea that I could get this for my kids or that I could get this up to the age of 47. So what ended up happening is sometimes in life you think, man, this sucks. And then a month later you're thinking, maybe there's a reason for this. Maybe I was blessed to have this opportunity to make a hell of a difference. And I'll tell you 2 stories along the way of this that were rather insane. And I'm a little nuts, if anybody out there knows me. I'm a little aggressive in my reporting and my delivery of the message. So I was at home alone. My wife's a television anchor, and so she was at work. She was doing the news. And I was walking to the bathroom, and I blacked out. And I woke up. I mean, I was on the floor like this. And my glasses were up against the wood floor. And I was on the edge of the stairs. And I thought, should I call 911? Nah. Should I call the wife? Nah. I sat down in my recliner and I did a live stream to our site. So this is how my beautiful wife found out that her husband blacked out. What we did was we made people understand this is a reality. This is a nightmare. This is the real world that we live in. Should I have done that without calling her? Probably not. Within 3 hours, I was in intensive care. And at the end of the day, I ended up telling people that this is a horrible disease that we all have to get together and make sure we fight. And then I think about how this has played out. Cancer-free, delivering a message. I'm a talk show host. I'm a TV personality. I'm a CEO of a company that creates media, and I'm blessed, and I'm healthy again. Thank God. But I'll tell you what breaks my heart. This is a true story. I was on the phone. As part of what we do at my company, Sparkt, we deliver cakes. I call them cakewalks. I find folks that are having birthdays or cancer. And we get these beautiful cakes. And we deliver them to them live. It's absolutely the coolest thing. 100-year-old guy, veterans, a girl suffering from severe anxiety and depression. It's a cool thing how much a cake can mean. There was this 2-year-old. His name was Cody. He was at Children's Hospital. He was beautiful. He was getting out the following week, and his aunt reached out to me and said, Marty, we'd love to have a cake for Cody. And we had the cake made, and I was on the phone with her. It was on a Sunday. We were kind of ironing out the details. What are we going to do? What time are we going to be at Children's Hospital? The Sunday morning, I remember it distinctly. I always make waffles, and the kids are sitting there eating, and she says to me, hold on a second. I got another call. She gets another call. And he died that morning. It just screwed me up, as these things do. And what my point is that in the magnificence of all this glory that we receive and acclaim for being survivors and telling a story and able to spread a message, the truth is that this is far from over. Man, there's no friggin' way a 2-year-old should ever die. And I can't imagine, I couldn't breathe if my son wasn't alive. I can't imagine how his parents can breathe, how they can walk into a room, how they can get through any day. There ain't no cake, nothing can change that. And I have an 8-year-old son, 9, turning 9 this week, Vincent. And I think the beauty of this is that someday Vincent won't have to have the chemo that kind of jacks up your taste buds, right? And your saliva, and your appetite, and a bunch of other things, and the radiation that does its own thing to keep you alive. But someday my son will either have just immunotherapy or a vaccine, right? They'll give him a shot, and he'll be cool. And really, that's why I'm here, to make sure that this ball keeps rolling, and any little thing that I can do. And to thank each and every one of you for listening for a few moments. And sorry about the eggs on your jacket, Don. Thank you.